incorporate AI into your business of the technology to just be more efficient, to learn some new tips and tricks. I mean, even for my daughter, it's kind of fun where I'm making AI cartoon videos with her, getting her ideas and turning them into videos, learning as a marketing piece to do AI with voiceovers, writing a script, transposing it so you can actually use it for accounts. But I know I'm just scratching the surface, but I'd love, Michael, for you to share kind of your background, your story, and also a little bit about your course and everything you cover. Because I think those that don't incorporate AI now, because of the way it moves so quickly, you're going to have to catch up. But there's still time. From what I learned from you, you may have heard of ChatGPT and that's it, but you don't know everything else, like the iceberg. You're just seeing the tip and not all the other pieces. So, Michael, if you don't mind introducing yourself and maybe sharing a little more of the course and what you've kind of learned as a CCIM instructor. And I think you are the main technology instructor now or innovator for CCIM. You're muted, Michael.
It always happens, right? Well, I appreciate you having me on again, James. It's really a pleasure to be here with all of you. And yeah, AI is still a thing, and it's moving even faster. Every day, I'm looking at brand new tools and trying to think of ways that we can implement them in commercial real estate. So I've got a course that's called Implementing AI in Commercial Real Estate, and that's the whole idea behind it is actually implementing it because I think the hardest thing for people to wrap their heads around is how they know about it, they know, that it does some great things. They're just trying to figure out, okay, how do I use this in my business? And I think that's the hardest thing to sort of wrap your head around. And then the other thing is you're so busy on doing deals and talking with clients that it's really difficult to keep up to date on all of the new tools that are coming out and so forth. And so we're constantly updating our course. In fact, I just added a new lesson yesterday on a new tool that just came out. And so we're constantly updating it. And the other thing I always say is once you're a student of mine, you can always be a student. So James, you've taken my class, so you can always come back for free and take my class again because the one thing I don't want is for you to take the class and then, a few months later, 6 months later, it doesn't work anymore, or the technology's changed, or something has changed over time. So we're constantly updating the course, but yeah, we look at it from 6 modules. So the first one is the intro. It kind of gets you into all the different large language models that are available, prompting techniques, how to get the most out of large language models, because I think that's really the difficult thing for a lot of people is to try to, yeah, we say bad inputs are bad outputs. And so we're trying to give you better inputs to learn how to speak with large language models because it is a little bit of a different language. And then excuse me, the second module, we get into market analysis. So I teach market analysis for CCIM Institute. And we get into, how do we find supply demand data, how we look for demographics, how do we utilize AI to help us distill a lot of the data and the information. We get into financial analysis, module 3. Then in module 4, we get into automations for CRM systems, so our contact management systems, and staying in contact with our client base by utilizing artificial intelligence. Our fifth module is operational automations. So we get into how you might be able to use automations in your day-to-day business to just make you leaner, faster, that much more potent in what you do. And then our last module is sort of the one that we put a bow on everything, and that's our marketing module where we show you new creative ways to utilize AI to market yourself. And I think the biggest thing is just to separate yourself from the pack. There's, hundreds of thousands of commercial real estate agents out there. And so how do you differentiate yourself in your market? How do you make yourself stand out from the competition? And how do you have your listings and your properties and the things that you're trying to help get across the finish line? How can you make those things stand out as well? And there's a number of tools out there that are great and ones that are just coming out now that I'm really excited about. I'll show you one today that just came out a couple days ago. And I haven't told anybody about it, not even my students. So you get a first look at that. And so yeah, there's just it's comprehensive. There's a lot of information out there. It can sometimes be overwhelming too, a lot of times, James. I'm sure you're aware of that. And it just feels like, wow, there's so much going on and it moves so fast. But, what I tell my students is if you can take just a couple things and implement them into your business, it makes it that much better. And it really only takes a few things. Like you're not gonna implement everything. In fact, I don't even implement everything that's in my course. I just sort of give you all the options, and then if you can take one, two, maybe even three things and actually use them in your day-to-day business, you're going to be that much more efficient. You're going to be that much more uh, of just making a lot of money. Hopefully in 2025, right, James? We can turn the corner and start it from New Year fresh and start with some AI. So
Yeah, with 3 years, we said with downturn, this is the gold mine to get ready. Use this quiet time in December to prepare for 2025. So,
yeah.
Michael, I'm really excited with your presentation of what you can share and the extra tip and secret for those that showed up and are listening to for today.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a couple of years ago, the saying was "survive till 25," right? And so now we're here, and I think for those of you that are on the call, you've survived, and now you're ready to thrive. So thrive in 25, I guess, is will be the new saying. But anyway, let me share my screen with you real quick. I wanted to show just a couple ones. So this is the new thing that just came out, and it looks kind of fantastic right now, but I'm thinking of the ways that we can utilize this in commercial real estate. So this is a company called World Labs. Was started by a whole bunch of top AI creators, and what it does is it allows you to put in an image, and it will create a three-dimensional world. Now, this is going to be great for gaming and going to be great for just a lot of movies, simulators, those sorts of things. But I'm thinking in terms of like commercial real estate, where we can create these 3D models of things that are around buildings or taking trips inside of maybe a rendering of a building, and creating this out. I'll show you one that I created. This is not out yet, by the way. It's not available to the public, but this will be out soon. And it just goes to show where we're at in this technology. We've gone from just a couple years ago where it was difficult to get like a really good image to now incredible images. And now we're creating worlds, whole worlds off of these images. And so you can only imagine where we're going to be in another couple years. We're going to get into a lot more easily accessible, I believe, virtual reality. We're going to get into a lot more accessible, immersive marketing techniques. So the old PDFs, and I'll show you, we can already get away from that right now, just very quickly. The old PDFs that you send around are going to be sort of go the way of the dinosaur in a lot of ways because static information, I think, is going to not catch people's attention, or it's going to need to have other elements to it in order to grab that attention and really sell things. So I was excited to see this. I tried it out. You can go in here and you can actually click and drag around and move this. So they give you an opportunity to test this out. But this was all created off of just a single image prompt. So pretty amazing that they can create all of this just by single image and create these whole worlds. And so you can go here. It's worldlabs.ai/blog. Um, I don't know if somebody wants to put that in the chat or not, but that's the place. And you can play around with this. You can move the sliders and so forth. Once again, it's not out 100% yet, but they're teasing it, and I think it will be out in the next month or so for public use. Another tool that I had just found, and I think this has been out, but it was new to me, is this one. Well, there's two, and I've just recently been introduced to both of them. This is one called CapCut, and what it is it's TikTok videos, it's YouTube shorts that you can create from any product. So I went in and I made a video from just one that was here from, where are my images? So these were just done from a simple prompt that I had put in, and I created the image from Runway, and it was a video. It was this image right here. So I created this image um, from where did I create that image? Maybe Leonardo. It might have been from Runway. So let me show you these tools real quick. So we can move from art generation, so generating images, to moving sort of images as well. So I use either Midjourney. That might have been the one that I had used on this one. So Midjourney is right here, and you can log in and start creating a whole bunch of things. I don't know why my account's not on right now, but let me log in here real quick. On this one, you have to have a Discord account, or you can continue with Google, but I have a Discord account. Look at all these
Michael,
new.
since I took your course, it's like if you don't stay up to date, it changes, new things come out. I mean, I think that's what confuses people. We get one, but then because of the way AI goes so much faster, better, and it's great to just listen and hear and see what the newest and latest and greatest and what you're doing because you're kind of immersed in this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's I don't know why this isn't working, but everything's keeps getting so much better. Like when you had originally taken my course, James, some of these tools were not there. And so it's amazing to see how these things have evolved over time. And uh I guess I should have logged into here before. So this one's Leonardo. So this one I had created, maybe this was the one where I had created a whole bunch of images. I like this one because you're able to create different image dimensions. Like if you want a banner, if you're making one for like a phone screen, if you're making one for a desktop image, these have some great images. So I created this one that was the interior, and here was my prompt that I used. And so a highly detailed, realistic interior and so forth. Now, I did not write this prompt. Actually, what I used was, if you go to ChatGPT and you have a ChatGPT account, you can actually use ChatGPT to get these prompts. So I went to one that's called and this was called Leonardo. So if you go into uh, custom GPTs and you search Leonardo, there's a Leonardo AI prompt maker. So I can in normal terms, I can speak to it and say, this is what I want. I want an interior shot of a retail space, people in their shopping and so forth. And it will then create an image prompt, and this was the image prompt that it had created. And I thought the results ended up being pretty good. So here's a nice interior, and it had nice window lines and so forth. Now from here, what I can do is So maybe I'm a developer and I wanted to do a rendering of a property that I'm thinking about, or trying to do marketing materials, or even if you don't, maybe if you have a space that is not built out, maybe it's in shell condition, and you want to sort of build it out in somebody's mind, you can do this in a lot of different ways. And what I can also do is I can also make this dynamic. So I take this image prompt and then I go over to this other tool called Runway. And Runway is one where you can go in and drop in an image and it will, all these different things, and it will create this moving dynamic thing. So here is what I have created before. And so I took that prompt and now it's created this dynamic video that I can put into my marketing materials and so forth. And so from just talking with ChatGPT to tell it what I wanted, going to this image creator, which I use Leonardo for this one, or you can use Midjourney, you can use Dolly, any one of these image generators. I created this image and then I created a video off of it to make it more dynamic. So I could put this onto a website. I can put this into a PDF. I can put this, I can just make it more dynamic, and grab more attention. And it's just amazing how quickly you can go from an idea, concept in your mind, or a rendering or whatever, to this immersive sort of moving marketing piece. And so it goes very quickly. I can make this in a matter of just a couple minutes, and you can make as many as you want. Some of these are free. They give you credits that you can use, and some of them regenerate over, a 24-hour period or a week period. Other ones you want to maybe pay for credits or pay for a subscription. Some of these are what they call freemium, right? They start you free, and then you have to pay up for some of the other things. But these are just some of the new tools that I'm seeing coming out, and it really changes a lot of how brokers can once again market themselves, market their properties, and just create a whole new way of looking at marketing yourself. So these are some cool things. We go through this. I show you step by step how to do this one. I've done quite a few different ones here, and I'm just putting these into, here was another one that I created just off of an image prompt. This was for market analysis. I think I was trying to show it just is more immersive than just saying market analysis, right? It gives you kind of an idea on how you might be able to create this. And here was another one. And this is all just off of a prompt. So, it created this image inside this building that was kind of futuristic. And now I'm moving it. So you can change the camera angle. You can do a lot of things. Now, this is done with Runway. And if you believe it or not, there is a Runway custom GPT so that you can go ahead and get a new this Runway magic prompt. So I drop in the image that I created off of, let's say this one. I drop it into my Chat GPT, custom GPT here, and then I say I want this to move in a certain way, or I want this to look more dynamic and add more shoppers, or change the angle. I want it to move this way, or I want it to move horizontally. You can do that and create a new magic prompt. And that's how I created all of these. So good
And Michael,
stuff.
can you go into a little, because with the programming and the actual, because I know you created a couple with the Chat GPT, because I think many people do have probably the Chat GPT, and then with these programs and whether they're paid or free that you can just use.
Yeah, so so if you want to get custom GPTs, and if you're unfamiliar with what a custom GPT is, it's basically a modified large language model that you can customize to to do a certain thing. The analogy that I always use is like large language models are like interns, right? If you have an intern, you want they're super smart, but you got to train them a little bit, and you have to be able to, once again, good inputs are going to lead to good outputs. If just like an intern, if you don't explain what you want them to do, they're probably not going to give you a good output. The same with large language models. But what we can do with these custom GPTs is we can create kind of custom interns, ones that are really good at specific things. For example, I've got one that's a DCF assistant. I show you how to create this. That helps do a discounted cash flow analysis just based off of an offering memorandum. I drop an offering memorandum in there. It goes and calculates everything for me. I've got one that's a CRM assistant. But if you want these custom GPTs, you have to pay for their upgraded subscription, which is called their Open Plus subscription. So you have to do that. My recommendation to anybody that wants to get into artificial intelligence is you should pay up for at least one of the large language models, whether it's ChatGPT, which is OpenAI, whether it's Claude from Anthropic, whether it's Google Gemini, whether it's whatever it is. I would just pay for one of them so that you can see how because it gives you new models, updated models. It gives you access to brand new tools. I really like Claude for a lot of things. I can create these discounted cash flow analyses just from a single prompt that I can change all the levers on, and I show you how to do that. There's just a lot of things that you have access to if you pay for them. So that's my recommendation, James. But a lot of these other ones, like this CapCut that I made with the generated marketing videos, that's free. They give you some free ones. I don't know what this new World Labs. I haven't seen what they're coming out with. Leonardo, I do pay for it now, but Leonardo, you can get free credits. They regenerate every 24 hours, so uh, so if you use it just a little bit, that's a great one to do. Midjourney is free. That's a free version that I get. So that's that other image generation, which is right here. So Midjourney is free. You just create an account, which I don't know why it's not letting me log in, but these are all the things that people have created. I really like to go through these, and people are really fascinating. Here's the old woman with pearls. Um,
Michael, we have a question from
yeah,
Caesar, another CCIM.
yeah, Caesar.
Hi, Michael. Thank you, Jim. For those of us that were technologically impaired, and I have absolutely no clue how to do AI, I barely can manage my phone. I stumbled upon a company called a Studio, something like that. It's paid, it's a little pricey. Pretty much you just insert the image of your building and AI creates a whole interactive brochure, which I felt it was really cool because we send
Yeah.
offering memorandums to all the prospects and listing agreements, not listing agreements, listing presentations, but this is interactive. So what happens is you're flipping through the brochure and then suddenly you see a busy street with cars running, driving, and are you familiar with it has to be more or less the same platform, different application or different company. It's kind of expensive. Are you familiar with it?
I'm not familiar with that one in particular. It's called the Estudio.
Studio,
Estudio.
Studeo, Studio, and unlimited downloads per year is price is $4,000 or $5,000, something like that.
Oh,
So
wow.
maybe yeah, it's pricey, but it's for people like me who you just insert your image and let it run. So
Oh,
I felt
interesting. Yeah.
for teams or for someone who kind of pitch in because it's unlimited. You can have a team of 20 and they all can use it. And I felt it was really, really cool for presentations. Even yesterday, I sent it to someone for brokerage attraction, for recruitment. You can do any flyer you want, but it's interactive flyer. And I've
That's
been
awesome.
changing how to host, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a landing page uh, in addition to your website, but
Yeah.
it's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I haven't been I mean there's millions of tools out there. I don't know every single one of them, but that sounds like a really intriguing tool. I know Adobe is coming out with some, great tools on their own um that you can use inside of their PDFs and so forth. Another good one that I like is called Gamma. I don't know if you're familiar with Gamma, but Gamma gives you, this is one that I just created, just off of an image and a prompt, you can create a brand new sort of presentation off of it. And I just uploaded an offering memorandum on this one, and it created this. I didn't touch it. It created all of this just off the offering memorandum. So it's pretty cool, pretty unique. It grabbed all the tenants, tenant mix, property configuration, investment summary, and all that. So that's a free one, is Gamma. So you can create a whole bunch of different presentations and so forth. I think they might do PDFs on this, or you can export it to a PDF as well. That's another one that you might want to look at. James, I don't know how much time you have. I'm open for
You could still,
questions if anybody wants to.
yeah, we could stop a little to ask if there's any questions or kind of go on with the automation part, because just like what Caesar said, there's so many, from the free to this. Wow, that's a lot, $5,000, right? Maybe
Yeah,
that's the company level, but now this is the incredible thing where they were saying about it could replace, right, some of the marketing team, or one person now,
yeah,
instead of when I was at Marcus, we had three marketing proposal assistants to put it together. You may just need one with this tech tool to maybe service an office of 50 brokers now. So, it's exciting, but I'll stop. Any questions from anyone here of what you're trying to use AI or implementing some kind of automation? Well, Michael, if you want to kind of continue a little, and we'll let everyone kind of hear and think about it, but there's just so
yeah.
much, and maybe it's just really overwhelming. You just don't know where to start.
Yeah, no, I get that. And that's why we go slow through the process, and sort of build on each other, because it does become overwhelming. The other thing, just to play off of what you were saying, is I also think a lot of people who employ virtual assistants or have assistants, I hate to say it, but probably can get rid of them as well, through the automations and everything that you can do now. I can pretty much create a virtual assistant with these, what they call agentic AIs, where I can have them update my calendars. I can have them um, do to-do lists. I can have them update my CRM systems all automatically, just by having a conversation with the chat GPT. So there's a lot of tools that are out there. The other one, if everyone's familiar with Zapier, so Zapier is one that is a no-code sort of automation machine, and there's other ones that you can make behind the scenes that create these agentic AIs using Zapier. So, not to get too technical, but they use what's called an API, application programming interface, and so these APIs connect different software programs to each other that normally would not be able to talk to each other. And so Zapier is this tool that you can use, so you can have it go from, let me show you one of my zaps here. So I've created this one where I can go in, I can scrape LinkedIn profiles. It goes to a Google spreadsheet with all of their contact information. Then that contact information is automatically sent to my CRM system, and also automatically generates a draft email introducing my company to these people. And it all is off of one click. All I literally have to do is go to one person and click on their LinkedIn profile, and it goes and does all of these things for me. And the way that I make this all work is through this what called Zaps by Zapier. And so I've got this one that's called Google Sheet to email draft. So literally every time a new Google Sheet row is created, it creates a draft email that I have created, or you can have AI draft an email as well. And once again, introduces my company, tells them a little bit about who I am, and goes from there. And so you can create these. I've created them for a whole bunch of different types. So I work with, attorneys. I work with DST providers. I work with estate planners because I do private portfolio management. And so whenever I identify some of these people, I just go to their LinkedIn profile, scrape all that information with one click, and it goes and does all these things. So Zaps are really cool. They're really make your life a whole lot easier in terms of automations and so forth. I've got some other ones where my inbox, you get so many emails, and what I've done is if you flag an email, it automatically creates an Asana task. I show you how to set those up as well. But there's a lot of, just think about your workflows, your day-to-day workflows, and think about the things that you spend either a lot of time doing, or there are things that you just don't like doing that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. Think about how artificial intelligence might be able to help you with some of those things, either take over that task entirely, or maybe make it that much faster so you can do the things that we want to do as brokers. The things that we want to do are work on deals, talk to clients, prospecting. Those are the things that we enjoy. The things you don't enjoy are sometimes, the tasks and the calendar updates and all the little tedious things that you have to do throughout the day. Maybe there's a artificial intelligence that can help you with that. And so we take you through those things step by step. It just depends on what it is you're trying to accomplish in your day-to-day business. Let me
So,
see.
Mike, do you
Yeah.
actually, besides teaching the course, maybe help set things up for people? Because sometimes to learn the course and implement it yourself is difficult, but it's fun and interesting. But some people may say, Michael, can you just build it for me, or help my team implement marketing, my CRM automation? Do you do that also and assist people maybe on a consulting level?
Yeah, we created a company called PropTech Integrations that helps work with brokers, helps work with commercial real estate professionals. It's specific for commercial real estate professionals and ancillary businesses. But yes, we do have that set up. We've got some engineers that work behind the scenes to get these things all set up for you. So once again, just thinking through, and that was one of my students had said that, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't know where to start. And I said, just chronicle your day, like, or chronicle your week, and just write down the top 10 things that you do during the week. Okay. And just, and the amount of time that you spend on each of those, and then think about it, and then come back and say, this is something that I can automate, or this is something that I can give to somebody else to do. It's all about time management for brokers. But once again, you want to spend time on the things that are actually making you money, which are prospecting and talking with clients, and out there beating the street, as they say. So if you can take away some of those other things, and like I said, just chronicle that throughout the day or throughout the week, and see if there are holes there where you might be able to get rid of some of these things, and sort of take back your time, if you will.
Michael, Dan asked about, can you share the information of how to connect in your course? Could you maybe pop up or put your contact information in, or pop
Oh
up in
yeah,
your webpage?
yeah. Well, so you can go to implementing AI in commercial real estate. So it's implementing AI in CRE.com is the website. And then if you want to reach out to me, I can put it in the chat. Feel free to reach out. Here, I'll put my email address in the chat. And feel free to reach out. So
So
there's
Mercedes
my,
also,
yeah.
no, I'm just saying for anyone, just join Backstage Pass. Mercedes, everyone, the video and the slides will be there. But we always encourage everyone to reach out to Michael for his course. It's fabulous. And you always learn something new. That's why I was, in a way, Michael, I always get you on so I can keep updating myself on what's new, what's going on. So truly exciting.
I get it. No, there's just cool things that are coming out right now, and like I said, we're constantly updating all of these things just to keep up with the speed of technology because it can be overwhelming. I get it. It's even overwhelming for me. I have all of these people that I follow and things that I do. I'm constantly on X and Twitter or LinkedIn, trying to understand the newest tools that are coming out, and it is time consuming. It is overwhelming, um, but I enjoy it. I love it. It's what I do. I do a lot of this for the Institute, helping them implement AI. And so anyway, I enjoy it, but I get that not everybody is in my same position.
Michael, what else can you share? So let's say what basic tools besides the chat GPT, maybe the $20 a month version, what other
Yeah,
things would you suggest if they want to get in, or what's free that they could just plug in, play around, or pay
yeah.
for?
I'll show you a new one that just came out. Well, it's within the past month, I would say, maybe a couple months. And this is called Notebook LM. If you have a Google account, this is free, and this is just a really cool what we call what it's called a RAG, which is a retrieval augmented generation, which essentially means that there is a library, if you will, of information that artificial intelligence can pull from. And so what I used this for and what I was doing was just sort of dumping some information in. So I had dumped in, I think, some leases and was playing around with it. And this is free. Like I said, if you have a Google account, you can do this. And all I did was I dropped in a couple leases, and then you can start asking. So if you have, a retail shopping center with 20 leases, you can drop all 20 leases in here and say, okay, well, whose expiration is coming up the soonest, or are there any options to renew with the Grand Northern lease? And so you can just start talking with these language models and understanding what. And so here's the lease. There's an option to renew in the lease. And it gives you all of the information, and then it gives you the citations as well, which page it is on. So I really like this because once again, you can drop in whatever it is that you want. You can drop in your listings. You can drop in uh, recipe, cooking recipes. You can drop in whatever it is you want, and then you can always retrieve that information just by simply having a conversation with the information that you drop in here. So that's a free one. Now, the other really cool thing about this is that they've got this ability to create a podcast, believe it or not. So you can create a podcast that has two people talking to each other based on the information. So you could literally have a podcast on the leases that you dropped in for a shopping center. You could have a podcast on all of these cooking recipes and, oh, how they're yummy. Did you have this one? And it's hilarious. They come up with this whole dialogue of things. But you could use this as a great marketing tool once again for your listing. You could drop in your listing, drop in your offering memorandum, your flyers, and everything into this, and then create a podcast off of your listing. And you could have two people talking about your listing. Oh, this is a great. Have you looked at the location? Oh, yeah, it's just absolutely hilarious. So you can show how to do that. So I think it's called what is it called? Audio overview, I think. Yeah, so click to load the conversation. So and you can tailor it a little bit, but anyway, it makes this podcast that's really funny. It's a lively deep dive discussions. So you can create that just off of the information that you drop into this notebook LM. So very cool stuff. Another way, once again, to differentiate yourself from your competition. If you can create a podcast on your listing, who's doing that? No one else is doing that, right? It's pretty amazing. And this technology is there. It's available for you. And this one is absolutely free. I think you can load for each notebook, you can load up to 50 documents. So if you have a shopping center with 50 leases, you can drop all 50 leases into it. I did one for our local CCIM chapter where I dropped in all of our um, board meeting notes over the past 4 years. So we can always go back as a chapter and ask, oh, what were we talking about, 2 years ago? Or what's the process for, this or that? It's really cool. So anyway, this is free for you, James. You can start doing this right away.
I mean, this is just so amazing and I think so overwhelming. And just when I took the course, only a couple months ago, things have evolved so quickly. I think this
Yeah.
is almost going to be the industry, right? Where some industries are going to be disrupted, where, like you said, your VA and other parts are going to be gone. But now you're going to be kind of that AI, whether it's marketing, automation, innovation, right? Plugging it in or programming, right? These custom
Yeah.
material so you can help people get I always say become more biotic, right? Or less people part of your staff, that you just have to get the right AI tools or experts like you programming it or consulting and helping to help the whole team, because this is just truly amazing.
Yeah. I don't think there's been a time since the advent of the internet where there's been such a technological disruption. Thinking back, I was in high school, sort of when the internet started becoming the old AOL dial-up, right? You can probably hear it in your mind, you know. But anyway, thinking back to that, I mean, if you have the opportunity, if you could think back in time and go, wow, if I had really sort of embrace the internet at an earlier time, I could have been so much further ahead of my competition. This is that same snapshot in time, I think, where you're going to look back and 5 years from now, you're going to look back and go, wow, I really wish I had embraced that sooner, because it really is a huge differentiator. And your competition is starting to do this stuff. They're starting to separate themselves. And so if you want to be a top agent, just like James has here, then I would say you need to start doing at least a few of these things. Like I said, it is overwhelming, and I don't want you to think that you have to do all of these things. But if you can take one, two, three, maybe things and implement them into your commercial real estate business, you're going to be light years ahead of a lot of people. So
And Michael, one thing is, how the internet brought the world closer and smaller.
yeah.
How is the different languages, automation, translations, and everything else using AI? So not only are you doing this in English, let's say, but maybe Spanish, Chinese, whatever, different languages and speaking. I mean, what is the capability on language?
Yeah, language is obviously the thing that it thrives on, right? As a large language model, these things are built for language, which is fantastic. And it's built for multiple languages. People have made custom GPTs as language tutors, right? If I want to learn Spanish, if I want to learn Chinese, if I want to learn, Mandarin, whatever it is, you can learn it. The other really cool thing that is you can make videos. So let me See now, James, you're getting me to give too much away, I think.
You still got to take the course, everyone. I'll tell you, this is fun talk, but the course goes deep and a lot more, and you get continuous updates. So that's the fun part.
So this one is a tool called HeyGen. And so HeyGen is one where you can drop in a video. So you can take a video of yourself on your phone or whatever it is. You drop it into this, and then you do this, what's called video translation. I show you how to do this. So if you have a client who's in China, or you have a client who's in Singapore or Germany, whatever it is, you can speak to them in their language just by dropping in a video, doing this video translation. And I did this one for in Mandarin, and I don't speak Mandarin. I don't speak a lick of it. But I could talk to somebody who is in China, and so if I've got a listing and I want to do it in their language, I can drop this in, personalize it to them. It's just amazing. It's such a huge separator for a lot of people where you can talk to people who don't speak your own language. And once again, you can do this as well with large language models. You can write an email out and tell ChatGPT or Claude or any of them, please write this email in Mandarin, or please write this email in German or French. And it will do that for you. So there's a lot of capabilities for international reach, as you're saying, James. Yeah.
That's incredible. April, you have a question for Michael.
Thank you. So I don't actually have a question, but I wanted to say thank you, Jim, for having Michael. And Michael, thank you for sharing this information.
Oh,
I
April, you're
have,
sweet. Thank
yes,
you.
I I have been using Chat GPT, and I've been waiting to for someone to come up with how to really use this resource in commercial real estate. Um, for those of you who are not using Chat GPT, you pretty much give it a prompt and it spits out and delivers within, it seems like less than a minute at times. And so being able to use this more in depth with analyzing different deals and so forth is definitely going to be a plus for me and anyone who decides to take your course. So I'm going online to make sure that although I'm familiar with ChatGPT, I'm not familiar with being able to use it within my commercial business, which is where I need it. So thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, very well said, April. Yeah, it's there's a lot to understand, and I'm a constant learner, James. So I'm learning myself.
I know, and this is why this is great with large groups. Everyone gives you feedback, what they've seen. And I know you're going to start vetting what Caesar said about what it is, but that's the fun thing why we do these, opportunities to talk and share and have experts on, because it really helps us figure this out. But I do love what you said is, weekly, what's your task? What do you do? And what doesn't really make you money, but if it's just operational and systems and especially automation or integration, like you said with Zapier, to put it all together, I think that's the challenge of just being patient or hiring the right person to help put this, program system together with whatever CRM, from the top of the funnel, from maybe your website through your CRM to the automation of answering questions to booking meetings to sending out files. I mean, how extreme have you seen people put this all together to really automate everything people do?
Incredible stuff. If you go to Zapier, and they've got a whole place where you can look at this Discover, just all the things that you're able to accomplish, whether it's lead management, sales, marketing, whatever it is. There's popular Zaps that you can just implement, right away, right? Um, just the things that people create in the background. They've got this other place called it's Wizards Guild, which is all of these people who are like, this on steroids. I mean, they've just created these amazing things. I show you one that I kind of copied from another person, where it's this voice thing that you just speak into it and it creates a to do. This other person did it for his wife, who had this landscaping company, and she could talk to it, just this jot form. AI will disseminate what she said. They do this through what's called a wave file, and it would create a task for her, and then also create an invoice. She could go, please invoice so and so for $500 for planting tulip bulbs or something like that, and AI would create a invoice, put it in her draft email box. So, it's just amazing the things that people come up with, and it's really inspirational to see.
Anyone have any last minute questions for Michael?
I have a question. Will this at some point have like CE credit attached to it? Your programs, that is.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I don't think so. Just because this is literally taught in all 50 states, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Unfortunately,
Okay.
this is just a self-improvement sort of thing. Help you make some money. How about that? It's a help you make more money product.
So, so Michael, can you share your contact information with everyone here and those that are watching? Is there any way you can pop it up so everyone can see, especially for those on YouTube, to see and how to get involved or reach out to you?
Yeah, I put it in the chat there. And do you need it more than the chat?
Well, maybe on the screen because some people are not in the chat; they're just watching on YouTube.
Oh, I see. Can you see my chat on the screen? I don't know.
We could just see your screen.
Oh,
So
you can. Let's see. How would I do that? Um, well, if you go to, whoops. Oh, this is my back. Yeah, if you go to implementing AI in CRE, I think at the bottom, I have my contact information. Uh, one more. Anyway, it's I'll write it on a thing. I wasn't prepared to share all this.
I know you had a slide last time, and on the back of the, your
Yeah, sorry
contact,
about that.
there was everything there. I want to
Uh,
make sure you get credit and people know how amazing your course is.
thanks. Yeah, well, here's my let me blow this up for you. Um, here's my email address anyway. So if you want to reach out, it's michael@duckridgerealty.com. And then the course, once again, the course is www.implement if I can type this morning, implementing AI in CRE for commercialrealestate.com. So that's the website address. You can go there, learn a lot. We also have James. I know you've been there. We also have a free community. So if you just sign up, free account, and then you go to the community, I'm constantly posting new things. We've got close to 80 members in here now. I'm constantly sharing new tools that are coming out. Here's one of the new Claude Sonnet computer use. This is a new thing too that I didn't talk about today. This is going to completely change how you interact with your computer. It's wild stuff and anyway, so you get in, introduce yourself. You can go through some of the tools, the applications. I put in some custom GPTs that I find occasionally and I really like, so I'll drop those in there as well. So this is all free to you, so feel free to come in and join that as well.
Michael, thank you so much. And everyone, at least join the community to learn. It'd be great to have you reach out to Michael, take the class, or reach out to ask questions. And I know there's the deck and flyers and intros that you can send people, but it's well worthwhile. And thank you for allowing us to keep continuing joining for free, because once you learn it and get these updates, that's what's so important. Caesar, do you have a
Yeah.
last question? I know you opened your mic.
No, just to say thank you. Appreciate it. Very interesting, Michael.
Yeah, my pleasure, Caesar. Thank you.
Michael, again, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for joining Top Agent Nation Commercial Wednesdays. Join the backstage passes where you can get the archive of the video, some I'd say your PowerPoint, Michael, or whatever you'd like, so we could share it there with the larger audience. So we could share, but happy AIing for everyone because it's fun to learn. Boy, it's just really fun, and you can implement it in every part of your life. But yes, for our core commercial real estate job, you can make a lot of money, definitely, if you start implementing. It's like the website, right, Michael? Back then, what's a website? Everyone has a website now.
Yeah, we're getting the same. It's gonna be exactly the same. You're gonna have a whole bunch of agents out there running, doing things on your behalf. It's gonna be wild times, but looking forward to it.
Michael, thank you again, and join us every Wednesday. Everyone, have a great day. Bye-bye.
So,
Thanks again, Michael.
My
Thank
pleasure.
thank